Welcome to episode 7 of Technically Together. In this episode, we didn't even have a topic, or we had one, except we didn't even get to it. We just sort of ran with it. Notable topics include behind the scenes of being a creator or being a tech YouTuber, some tech chat, and my current obsession with TikTok. Enjoy, you guys. Hey, I'm Isa,
And I'm JV.
and this is Technically Together.
And we're technically together.
Oh,
It's okay.
man, I thought I almost had that this time around for the
Well,
first time.
It still worked out. It still worked, I should say.
Yeah.
You were mentioning right before the call that there's a change. I did a
Yeah, you look fresh.
Thank you. I know you're not the biggest fan of me using like product,
Product?
but like I make sure that the products I use are as light as possible, and it's not stiff. You're never liking the hard hair. It's not. This is
Yeah,
not a
oh,
beret. This is
Okay, so I think it's also because when I was a kid, I've always been very lazy about my hair. I've always had like hair issues. I know a lot of you would get surprised when I say that because it's like, Isa, but your hair's pink and that's your thing. But like once upon a time I once upon a time used to hate my hair. In the Philippines, growing old, the ideal hair type would be like your hair because it's very straight and flat.
well. Can we say fine rather than flat?
I mean, I say flat because that's what we wanted growing up, babe. Like
Really?
when it would fall limp, that was the ideal hair type. So once upon a time, I used to have my hair straightened. We called it rebonding, and it costs like more than $100, which is expensive from my context because if you're spending $100 to like $300 on hair rebonding, you know how much a haircut is here?
Mm.
$5.
Mm.
And that's a normal, more expensive price. You can get like $1 haircut in cheap places.
Yeah, this was 30.
Yeah. What?
Well,
Okay, that's crazy to me.
I tipped I tipped a pretty large amount because they're working in the middle of a pandemic, and to explain to a few people, because I did the Pocket Weekly podcast earlier today with TK. And the moment our StreamYard turned on, because we use the same platform for all of our podcasts,
Yeah.
StreamYard, TK, who introduced us to StreamYard in the first place, such a side thing. It has nothing to do with the story. Anyway, once we got
Hi,
into the
StreamYard.
once, once we got onto the podcast, TK was like, "Who are you? You look so different. Like, I feel like I'm talking to a completely different person than I've seen throughout 2020." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is my second haircut of 2020." Because my first one was before we went to Unpacked in February, which then led to everyone finding out that everything was canceled. So there you go. And I figured, I explained to TK that if everyone was telling me just clean up the back a little, just clean it up a little, because if you're gonna grow it out, just clean it up. And then when I was thinking about it, I was like, if I'm gonna go potentially low key expose myself, by going to a salon, I'd better
Might
just
as well.
I might as well just go
Yeah.
all the way with it. Also, I've had a
Yeah,
lot of new glasses, and now I know what they look like with my normal look. So
Yeah. It looks nice and neat and very cool.
thank you. I don't have quite.
On the other hand,
I was gonna say I don't have quite the same amount of relief that someone like my brother had, where they like shaved off a bunch of hair and they're like, "Oh, my head feels lighter." And I was like, "Not really." Like, it didn't have quite the cathartic feeling that I was hoping it would have. Maybe because, my head can be lighter, but the world is heavy.
it's true. I mean, I've cut my hair twice since lockdown. I've done
Yeah,
it
you.
myself. I chopped it. I mean, I chopped out parts of it. My mom helped me make it look like it doesn't suck. No, so when I cut my hair, the process is I cut the length, and then like every morning I look at it and try to judge if I look at it okay. If not, I cut off more. So it's a 1 week process. But I mean, I'm happy, and now I don't think I ever need to go to a salon because I also tried bleaching my hair for the first time again. Like, not again. What did I say the first time again? No, I bleached my hair for the first time, and now I can do my own hair with someone's help, like you, because you've helped me color my hair. But this time around, it's actual bleaching. So there's that. I'm really not very confident to go out, but it's looking like at this point life has to go on. So I think I may have to start going out. It's literally the new normal now.
In a way, yeah. Speaking of, well, on the topic of hair, I do feel like I don't mind letting all of this keep growing, like just because there's not really a whole lot I have to do with this now that it's short enough. I just need some sort of like razor to just sort of like buzz the sides. And as long as I can get
Can I
that,
do it? I
you can
want to do it.
you can absolutely.
That's
But
it.
yeah.
Oh, do you want? Ooh, babe, I have an idea. I'm not sure if you like it. Your mom might hate me though for
Say
suggesting
it.
this. Like we can bleach part of your hair.
Oh,
I mean, you were talking about having like a green streak or something.
I thought
Now I
yeah,
can do it. I can actually do it because I know how to.
I've done it once before when I had a
What?
faux
You know
hawk.
how to? Why didn't you do my hair?
No. I didn't do it myself. I went somewhere. I remember going to that salon and going, I kind of want to get like, I know highlights aren't the word, but like, just a little bit of color in here just to give it some texture or something like that. But back then, see, with this, it might be possible, like just one streak right here.
Yeah.
It might be
It's
possible with
literally,
that.
yeah.
But the thing is, back then I had a faux hawk. If we're living in the age of the undercut, I used to live in the age of the faux hawk. And unfortunately, it didn't take long for my hair to get long enough to where I couldn't really style it in a faux hawk without like massive product.
Uh-huh.
I didn't really want to do that, so my hair would fall and I would just look like a tiger. And yeah, it was not the best look. So I don't know. There might be like a super old photo of me with that hair. But yeah, so I've tried it before. Like coloring is nothing new to me. So
Yeah. No, but all I'm saying is that I can do it now and it's very easy.
sure, I'd rather.
So,
I don't know. Green seems a little too dark. Like
I mean,
it wouldn't stand out as much.
yeah, well, it depends on how much you bleach your hair. Because,
That's
I
fair.
mean, we are Filipinos. We all have brown eyes unless otherwise mixed in with other races. And we all usually have black to very dark brown hair.
Yeah, fair.
So,
I will
yeah,
say
it's hard because,
my number one goal. Well, I have a few goals for by the time. Maybe that would be maybe that could be because Issa already has a topic in line for what we'll talk about.
I
a
mean,
little
we
bit
can
later.
switch it.
No,
We
no,
can
no, don't.
switch it if.
I love the idea of since there's two of us, we have like a front half and a back half of different topics that we both bring to the table. I didn't really
Okay.
have one prepared because I wanted to just riff in the beginning because I'm 3 drinks in, which is the equivalent of about 4 shots, and I'm not tipsy or anything. It's just it's been an semi unhealthy night because we got a bunch of wings and my brother is here and his wife is here
Oh,
too.
wings? Like LG wings?
No,
What?
because I don't even
I have
have
a
it
couple
yet.
of LG wings.
No, go away.
I have the
Go away.
Moto Razor. I have two Moto Razors and two LG wings here.
So
right
would you
now.
say that?
I
So would you say that the Moto Razor has clipped your wing?
I see what you're doing. No,
What?
but I actually I mean, I have to say the LG wing, I heard about it and I'm like, that's awesome. That's actually awesome. I liked it, so my expectations were met. I mean, I have a whole video of it, so
Yeah.
But the Moto Razor, I didn't expect to like this much.
Well,
I-
you're
I
working
didn't.
with you're working with second gen, and I think if you had worked with first
Yeah.
gen, it would be a whole different story because that was
Yes.
I at least do my best to not just openly trash talk companies, but let's just say what it was. The first smartphone Moto Razor was a dumpster fire. Like it just wasn't a good time.
I mean, I don't think it was okay. I don't know why this is turning into a tech podcast, but it's
Yeah, you brought
like
it
you
up.
said, like like we talked about, it's part of who we are. So the thing is with the first Moto Razor, I think that they miscalculated the market and their kalaban, what is
Their
what is
demographic.
kalaban? No, kalaban brand. What is rival brand? No, what?
Is
The
it right?
market and their
Their
competitors. Oh,
competitor.
shit. I don't know
Oh,
why I couldn't remember
Kalaban. Okay, I
competitor.
was sorry.
Yeah.
I focused on Kala there when I should have focused on Laban. I know what Laban is, so I should have known by root word.
Welcome to Tagalog.
Yes.
But
I
so
was focusing on the wrong part of the word.
yeah, so basically, I think what happened with the Moto Razor was that they're coming up with a new product, and there is a market. I'm telling you now, all if there's if there is a pattern, it's that every time it's a clamshell flip phone, all the non-techie girls I get questions and messages from. So
Hmm.
it's a pattern. But so I think they researched it, they knew what they were doing, but they miscalculated competition. They put it out, people weren't as impressed, but there were still some not like there was still a tiny market, and that's why they built it up that way. Like the event was a party and all that jazz. So you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm getting to. But then the Z Flip came out, and obviously since there's good competition, obviously there's flop.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So now they actually have something that can compete, which again, like everyone says, should have been the first one, and I
You could say that for
completely agree with
you
that.
could say that for pretty much any phone though. Is like this is what it should have been last time or anything like that.
Yeah, but the space in between those two
It's
isn't this
big.
far though.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Motor
I agree.
Razor is like it's bad. It's really wide. I mean, not that I've held it or anything, but
We just know what happened.
it's yeah, no, but it's bad because even on paper you see it's bad, and that rarely happens. I
Hmm.
always advocate for like not just the specs, but sometimes when the gap is too big, you
Hmm.
know that it's
Yeah,
you
you
start to
might
get a
not
feel.
harp on specs, but they provide a snapshot of what the overall experience might be. And
Yes,
nowadays, there's a sort of minimum requirement. The
yes,
same way that in computers there is a minimum requirement for any app or game or program that you're going to use, and if you don't meet those
yes,
requirements, your experience is going to be horrible. So in smartphones, we have that now.
yes.
So
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
Exactly, exactly, exactly. So this phone I particularly love right now. I have to say that it is very solid. I feel like I'm surprised at how sturdy and solid feeling this thing feels. And I mean, I feel like I enjoy the touchscreen experience on the foldable screen on this versus the Z Flip.
well, yeah. I mean, there's more. There's more. Oh, do you mean the main touchscreen experience or the outer touchscreen experience?
The main
Oh,
one, the
okay.
one that folds. Like, I get that it can't be straight as a brick, but the fact that it's like a little, like the creases or the texture is that's distributed versus one deep one
Hmm.
on the fold. I mean, either way, I'm nitpicking because you won't really notice this if you have one or the other.
Some people do though.
I'm
Like
just
there are people who will see like a crease in the screen of like the Z Fold 2 and that like breaks the entire experience for
turns
them.
them off.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like, bro, like, chill, I guess.
I mean, to each their own, right? Like,
No,
you
I
can always
agree.
not buy it, right? That's
Exactly.
my point, though. You can always not buy it. You don't need to hate on it.
Exactly, which is the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
But the point I was originally trying to make is that I'm 4 drinks in, and me saying the word chicken wing led to a tech discussion. But we bought a bunch of chicken wings, and in preparation for what should have been the Lakers winning the championship this year.
Wait, what
Um,
happened?
they
Did they
lost.
lose?
Yeah, so we're
To
going to the
who?
next game. So we're still 1 game away from winning. It's just the team that we're up against in this series just extended the series. The Miami Heat. So that's partially the reason why I'm 3 drinks in, and I I'm sort of kicking myself because I have a couple of deadlines tomorrow, so I'm going to be staying up after this. And I was hoping, I guess in some ways, I was hoping that I would be able to do this all nighter with a Laker win pushing me forward, like feeling real good. Now I feel like shit, and I still have to stay up all night. So
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Well, I mean, we. I mean, this podcast itself is late. And that's my fault because we had rescheduled it because it was a busy week. But then I totally just forgot. I forgot. Yeah, we should. Yeah,
We also
yeah.
had
I just
we
forgot.
should probably talk about this a little bit too. Then we literally had it's kind of rare. given that you're not. How do I word this? Because I don't mean this in the mean way, but you know what I'm saying, babe. Is you're bad at telling time. Um,
Yeah, I'm
the
bad
time
at
zone
telling
math
time.
was incorrect because you said
Okay, I'm
Friday, and
sorry.
I thought Friday, but now it is
I
Saturday.
mean,
No,
it wasn't
Saturday.
even incorrect. It was just a miscommunication.
Yeah,
I said Friday, but sometimes I forget you're in a different time zone. So
which is funny because
I mean,
I'm not even
yeah.
right next to you, and yeah,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
last
So
6 months of our
one,
relationship have been like this.
yeah. So one, I'm actually just really bad at time zones. I have an app on my phone that calculates time zones. And even then, before I post anything on Embargo, I Google what time is it in blah, blah, blah now. Because I am just so scared I make a mistake because I know it's my weak point. See, guys, nothing wrong with admitting what your weak points are. Mine is anything to do with numbers. As long as there's a number somewhere, my brain decides to shut down and I can't. I can't. I'm just.
Yeah.
So thank you, Google.
Mine
So I'm
is this
bad with
little
math.
pressure point right here. Like it's my weak point. If you were to press it, like I'll buckle because it's a pressure point. You know, so that's my weak point.
I thought your weak point was me in your heart.
That's a weak point. That's not a good thing to say about about
Wait.
someone.
Oh, yeah. Wait. I translated it wrong in my head. Oh, I meant like, I make you weak in the knees.
So my weak
You
point
can
is my knees.
hardly speak, might lose all
I'm only
control.
31. I shouldn't have.
In the day, you look so
Who's saying that?
amazing. If you're Filipino, you're gonna say Nina.
Oh yeah.
But you're not. I mean, you're not. You didn't grow up here. But we are gonna say Nina because that was my childhood.
I do
Nina
know
and all
who that
that.
is.
Really?
Well, because people here would say like, "Oh, look at this Filipino version of it. Look at this Filipino version of the SVW. I'm trying to remember which one. God, I don't remember. I just butchered it. But I know it's I think it's SWV. Anyway,
SU.
SVW.
I don't know how we got here, but I miss talking to you and I miss you. And who was I talking to? Like, I realized that, I mean, I've always been an LDR, but I guess 6 months in, I'm just very pissed at it already. Like,
Not even
I
six.
knew there was a.
It's like almost 10.
No,
Right?
but my point is, it didn't really bother me.
Uh,
I mean, it's bothered me, but not to the point where I'm actually annoyed and feeling helpless and needing to channel my energies elsewhere bother me.
yeah, I agree.
I asked you to do the LDR bracelet because I was like, how do we?
Yeah, I'm still looking for it because
No, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's just that it's just now that I think about it, it's funny.
sure.
It's funny that I messaged you out of the blue insisting we do the LDR bracelet.
Yeah. And you know
Funny
what?
now.
And you know what? On the show, I will apologize for because apparently for multiple people, aside from, okay, so as it turns out, the topic that I originally had in mind is not going to be. It's not going to be. I don't know. We're just like I said. The original goal for my half of the show was to just riff, and that's what we're doing. So I'm okay with that. Anyway, I have to apologize on the show to you and also to anybody that might be listening who has been trying to like. I'll use the term connect with me, like to spend time with me, not because and it's because it's partially because we're all in the tech space dealing with just a Niagara Falls of releases and news and work right now, and I have been trying to catch up on a queue of content that got pushed back because I was also dealing with fires a couple weeks back. So I have been profusely apologizing to every email recipient over the last number of days, figuring out how to like, oh, let me make this up to you and blah, blah, blah. Everyone's been very gracious and I'm very, very grateful for that. It has definitely been the number one thing I've been grateful for like 3 days in a row in my journal. But I also wanted to apologize on the show to you because I also feel like I have not been as responsive as usual. And I know that you have been craving more time to like spend
Oh, no,
together.
it's okay. It's like
Also, we have this
no,
sort of like safe haven of our podcast where we actually literally have 1 to 2 hours to be able to do that. So I know that we have like basically a built-in weekly date, which is dope. Like I do love that
Yeah.
about our show. But at the same time, it's just, I don't know, you know this about me. I sort of get into a place where the the nice thing about it is you don't have to worry about me because you know I'm not doing anything bad or
Yeah.
wrong,
No.
or I'm not hurting myself or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just I'm kind of a little hyper focused on what's in front of me at the
Yeah.
moment.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I miss you and it annoys me, but I'm not annoyed at you
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's like, even if we talk 24/7, that's not gonna fix it, though.
of
You know what
course.
I mean?
Yeah.
So my point is, it's like, I'm pissed at the situation, but it's not so much me craving more attention. It's just like,
Yeah. I didn't use the word
I
attention, it's
think
just
what,
time.
yeah. I think what's pissing me off more is the fact that, again, I feel helpless. And like, I've noticed that a lot of things that I get very pissed about, it all boils down to that one point when I personally can't do anything about the situation anymore. I get very, very mad about it.
And it's
And like,
also just like
it's funny.
we see so many parts of the world acting the way that they're acting, which literally makes us extend the time that we'll be apart. Like
Yeah.
for
And
every idiot that walks around in Southern California without a mask on, that's another week that I don't get to see my girlfriend. Right?
so it's like, and it's also someone commented on one of our past videos, actually episode 1, and like, the guy was like, Isa misses you more, Josh, talk to her every day, and then something about him being in an LDR. But I'm like, the thing is, I don't think that applies to us, because if I'm busy and if you like, I mean, we never do this, which is something I'm thankful for, but if I'm busy and I keep on nagging you and insist you talk to me, wait, if I'm busy and you keep on messaging me and insist that I need to talk to you while I'm busy, I'll be pissed. And I mean, it's the same thing with you, and we're very busy too. So
Yeah.
it's like, in my head, I'm just very anti the whole talk every day thing, because if you want to talk, you can talk.
Yeah.
But to mandate that you need to be talking every day, to me, is such a, I mean,
Oh,
honestly,
it's the classic.
conversations.
It's the classic. You better text me every day.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
better
like, I
hear from you
never
every day.
get that. Like, okay, if you say that, if you tell your partner that, why are you happy they're texting you when they're texting you because you told them so?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's like,
well,
it
it's
takes
internalized,
away.
right? It's not about the other person at that point. It's about your own
Yeah.
insecurity and
Yeah, it's basically, if you have a puppet and the puppet hugs you, you made the puppet hug you. How is that a genuine hug?
hey, I don't have anything else right now. Okay.
No, but I mean, it's just that. It's I just feel like, I mean, I know we're in a weird space being in an LDR and being in the situation, but it's also like, I don't want to resort to stuff like that.
Of course not. And we've
And I
never,
like,
even
yeah,
if this wasn't the situation, if this was just your run of the mill long distance
yeah,
relationship, we wouldn't want that anyway.
yeah.
And
I
also,
mean, okay, think about, like, just a quick example of
yeah,
how
yeah,
our
go ahead.
relationship goes. When we went to MWC, the first one that we went to, both, the first 2 days we didn't see each other.
Hmm.
This was after like a few months, a month or so of not being together. We both went there to work. You picked me up at the airport, and then like the next day or two, we didn't even see each other because we were busy working.
We had our own
So
teams.
my,
First of all, this was
yeah,
just to sort of date this story.
yeah. So it's like, my point is, it's like, I think we can be adult enough to understand and recognize the situation. Not saying that if you're clingy, that's not adult, but if you're clingy, and if you're not clingy and you try to be clingy because you feel like that's what a relationship is, that is not adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
think
to each his own, but don't force yourself into like this mold of what supposedly a
you're supposed to
relationship
do and
is.
all that.
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
think I've said this on multiple occasions on the show already, is that specifically, or rather, especially for a long distance relationship, my philosophy is that codependence just doesn't work. And this is not to say that codependency is a bad thing to have in a relationship. It just doesn't work for a long distance relationship, in my opinion.
Uh-huh. I just feel like the better word that better describes what a relationship would be to me is partnership,
Yeah.
right? It's like, it's not codependence but partnership.
Hmm. The
Nose is itchy, I don't know why. Sorry. I keep on scratching my nose. Go on.
the other layer to the whole me apologizing, not just to you, but to anybody else that might not have heard from me for a while. I have this other thing too though, where my focus when it comes to the people who are important in my life, it's not really tunnel vision, it's just at that moment I might be focused on any given person. Now the person who does get that attention the majority of the time is obviously Issa, but there are times when I might just be talking to like Brian, who listens to our show. Hello, Kuya Brian. um
Hi, Brian. I
so
miss you.
last weekend it was all about me and him, and to be honest, I'm actually very grateful that I have spent the time with him, because now it has created this, it has reestablished, or rather reconnected me to a group of people that I haven't heard from in a long time on the regular. Now there's a group
And I
chat.
also feel like you needed that sort of social break after
Sure.
everything that's been happening.
Sure. And I'm happy that now Brian and I literally have like aligned to one another through our Discord. And we're also able to, I also have a group chat now, with like the other Kuyas in the Filipino group that I was a part of in college, people that,
That's
like CJ and
nice.
whatnot. So like in reconnecting and ensuring I spent more time with Brian, it has reconnected me to a number of other people. So that's just where my focus kind of has been. Not that I've been playing favorites with the people I give my time to. It's just at the moment. Brian and I last weekend were stuffing our faces, and my blood sugar's been really high since then. So that's just been what's been going on.
I think it's a matter of bandwidth. Like a lot of people
Mhm.
hate the
That's the
phrase like I don't have
Isa
bandwidth
word of
for
the day,
that.
by the way.
No, but it's true though. Like
Yeah, I
I
know that word
am
because of you.
personally, yeah. Yeah, because sometimes I am very exhausted. Okay, I am, you know this about me, and probably the people who listen to this podcast have been learning this about me. I am a 0 or 100 type of person. So it's like if I give you my attention, like even if I don't plan on giving you 100%, I will end up giving you 100%. So there are times when I'm exhausted and I'm just gonna give zero,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because otherwise my whole shit gets affected, and sometimes there just isn't any bandwidth for anything else. So
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. All right, so I guess the riffing has been going on, but we can flow where we can. I do want to bring this up though. Like I feel like, because I don't think it warrants an entire half of an episode. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just curious. And again, this came up in the first 10 minutes of us recording. So again, riffing led to a topic. Uh, for when we finally do get to see each other,
we're gonna have a
let's.
picnic. Oh,
Oh
okay.
well, absolutely. Honestly, every time I go to, because I went to the Huntington Gardens today, I usually go to the Arboretum for my camera tests, or even just to hang out. Like I put in some headphones and I just walk around for a while. Yeah, absolutely. There's literally areas there that are like picnic area, and there's like an arrow that goes that way. What are some goals that you have in mind? Now, I'm sort of
No,
thinking
fishy.
I'm sort of thinking, I'll give you an example of what my goals might be so that you can hear how sort of trite they are, but they're still important to me, because it's a personal thing. Two of my goals is, by the time you see me, I want to be in better shape, better shape than you remember me as. Let's put it that way, right? So I just want to be
Hey.
like, I want like I don't have body dysmorphia or anything like that. Like I don't have low self-esteem or anything like that. All I'm saying is it would be cool if the next time you see me I actually sort of look different. You know what I mean? Like I actually put the work in, Somewhat in that vein, I want to fix this. Look at this. This is what a
You're
summer has
tan.
done to me. Like I have such a good brown going right now, but it's only arms and neck and face. And Brian knows this. Brian, since we brought him up, Brian will probably comment like, "Yep, that's the problem." I recently went to a dermatologist. Did I not tell you this?
Yeah, you told me.
I asked him, tell me about all of this and whatnot, and he actually said at one point he was like, "Well, you just have like more. You literally have more active pigmentation than other people. That's why tans happen. But in your case, like, yeah, you're right. If this is your actual like skin, you just your body just likes the sun."
So, okay, so let me unpack. couple layers. First of all, it's funny because this color, this is me not seeing the sun in like 8 months. This is it. This is I'm white right now.
White.
Not I mean not that I've ever
Look
cared
at this.
I mean not that I've ever cared about it. One, in the Philippines, being whiter is considered a status symbol, and like it's I don't get it. I never got it, but it's how people think it. I think older generation specifically.
Yeah.
I used to play on the football team, and I used to be like super dark, and my dad actually told me like to do something about that, because as like this was way back, but it came from like how that archaic thinking of how you shouldn't be dark, which I never really minded, because you know me, I like going to the beach and I like being in the sun. But another layer to that is that we Filipinos, even being in a tropical country, if we can stay away from the sun, we stay away from the sun.
Yeah.
And it's very funny because you guys don't. And okay, I always say that when you travel, the surefire way of finding a Filipino is if there's a sunny area, right? You find Filipinos hiding in the shade and walking under the shade,
Oh.
versus you guys who are like, oh, let's enjoy this sun. It's a nice sunny day. We never do that. Because here, like if you think about it, it's so hot. If it's sunny, your actual normal instinct is to hide in the shade. And that's why even on
I
a
know
normal
that.
day, even if it isn't a lockdown, I would never be out in the sun. The only time I am out in the sun is if I am at the beach, which, you know, we have a lot of. You can literally drive an hour from where I am and have a beach. 2 hours, 3 hours, traffic. Not distance wise, traffic
True.
wise. But
True.
my point is, it's funny because you guys are like, ooh, sun. Because I remember a lot of you are like, ooh, it's a sunny day, let's be out in the sun. We would never do that. Or like walk in a park and be like, ah, the sun in my face. And like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be under a tree, hiding in the shade.
I think it's because we have the extremes of what we can handle, where the summer, like honestly, up until today, the reason why I took I took the opportunity rather to go to the Huntington Gardens today is because the weather was finally under 85 degrees Fahrenheit,
What's 85 degrees?
like 16 or
Also,
something.
it's different. I think you're different from the rest of the world. So,
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. 85 F to C.
sorry, 85-degree bakery. Just kidding. Okay.
Oh snap! Okay, my
85
bad. I was totally wrong. I 85 degrees is about 30 degrees Celsius. So 85 degrees. The thing is, lately, especially since summer all the way up until now, it has just been crazy hot. And I invite people like TK Bay and Stacy Lee, our friends. I invite them to hang out with me in these botanical gardens, in these museum-like areas outdoors, because it's just a safer way to hang out.
Yeah.
And it's always been on super hot days. Lo and behold, today a new section of the gardens opens up, and it's a day that is 75 degrees,
But 75 degrees, 25?
24.
Is that how you do math? Huh? That's cold. That's what my aircon is set to. That
Yeah.
is my comfortable cold.
But here's the thing: 75. Okay, 24 for you. 24 Celsius with 24 Celsius with clear skies and sun. That is California perfect weather right there. To where there's a breeze, it's nice and cool. You can wear a hoodie, but it's still sunny. So that's sort of when we are like, we got to get out there. And in California in particular, when it's really hot, there's only one place that you can get that kind of weather, and that is on our beaches. So that's why people go. They're outdoorsy, they're beach people, they're, that kind of person. So yes, we do like being in the sun, because the extremes of that are it's too cold for us or it's always too hot. So once it's perfect weather, we're out there, we want it. And like me today, like I think this happened today, like this tent was partially because of today. And
Did you put on sunblock?
only the what's in my face cream. I didn't put here, sorry. But that is a goal, is like I want to even out the tan. That's like I said, it's a trite superficial thing, but it's part of my little goals. As far as like bigger goals I want to have in mind, like obviously because you and I have had this, I'll use the term opportunity. I know it's not the best time for us to think of it in that way, but since you and I have had the opportunity to be able to focus on our respective brands and channels, like growth has happened. So we have been working on our stuff. We're learning how to be more efficient with our work. We're learning how to really kill it in our own ways. Obviously, growth is relative. So in my case, like I just want to continue that to the point where I want to find a home base for us. I do. Like I really do.
Can I put plants in it?
Of course. You can decorate.
How about
Honestly,
an
you're on
aquarium?
decorative duty. Like you can do whatever you want to the space and I
It's gonna
trust
be a
you.
jungle out there.
I can't be trusted with a living thing like a plant for an office because I
I
just won't
mean,
be there enough to take care of it. And also
yeah.
my office has like no sunlight, so there's no reason for me to have it.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, oh, and we had this. Like, remember, I think we talked about it in a previous episode about the time you wanted plants, and I was like, "Babe, no, because they won't be happy."
I lost it
And then
because
they
I
died.
yeah, they died. I lost it because I put so much I did a lot of research and I thought that the plants I was buying just needed like I thought artificial sun was going to be good enough, so I got like grow
Uh,
lights and all these things, and you were like, no, it's not going to happen.
no, so what happened was you did a lot of research, you did a lot of put on into it, and I can't come in. You give me this idea you were semi excited about, and I come in and I'm like, babe, I hate to break it to you, but they're not gonna be happy. And he was just like, no, no, buy the grow lamp. They died.
They died.
But the thing is is also like I get this from my mom. She loves gardening, and like I am not as good as her, but in general, because okay, how callous I can be with things, you'd think I'd kill so many plants, right? But I don't nearly kill as many plants. I'm sort of, I think, moderately good at it versus other people, and it's like that's surprising because like I used to take care of cacti and succulents, and like I also garden,
Well, I
not
also
to the
think you're being
extent
a
my
little too
mom
hard on
does.
yourself. Like I'll put it this way. Okay, if you want to use the word callous, then fine. But when you focus on something, you focus. Like, I'm sure everyone can attest to the aquarium content, the plant content you've been putting out there. Like,
But
you
aquarium is
focus.
basically, but aquarium is gardening underwater though.
Well,
So it's
sure.
like that's why I know
But my point
like
is,
without. But
you've
the
been
thing
giving
is,
your energy to it, and it's been paying dividends.
yeah, but like a lot of people also give energy to it, and they're not able to do it.
Oh no.
I'm saying it's like I'm weirdly moderately good with it,
Okay, yeah.
all
You
things
have a knack. You have
considered.
a green thumb of
Yeah.
sorts.
And I mean, this is coming from a girl who makes herself bleed with her phone, okay? Like I mean so many things can go wrong. Like I bled last night because I need the LG wing. So I mean like who does that? And yet these pots filled with dirt and heavy pots and thorns and things, they actually live. Although I did not know how to water my mom's bonsai, so I almost killed it.
It's all right. At least it didn't die.
Yeah, I
The
had
good
to
news is
prune
that
it. So
the good news is that
on
it
the
can
other
grow it
hand,
back.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and on the other hand, who has pruned a bonsai here? Because I have with like great big shears and stuff. So
I wouldn't mind a small, probably the only plant that I've ever been able to sort of keep alive. Oh, not sort of. It is still alive. It's here. Is a money tree, the bamboo one. So
oh yeah, yeah.
not too tough.
I have a couple. I mean, behind me, it's yeah.
Yeah. So back on topic. Are there any goals that I know I'm putting you on the spot, sort of, but are there any like goals that you have in mind for specifically for when we see each other again? Because, like I said, the ones that I had in mind, like the big one is obviously when you are here, I want to already have established a home base that you and I can call our home base. And the other things are just like my personal physical things, like this.
I wanna like okay. I keep on saying I wanna do weird stuff, but I really wanna go on a picnic, and I really wanna like go wine tasting with a charcut. How do they say it?
A
Charcuterie.
shark coochie.
Yes, a
Did you
charcuterie.
see that?
Uh,
Did you see that meme?
no, but Sure.
It was a picture of it was a girl, it was a woman posting a picture of herself holding one of those meat and cheese plates, and she's like, I want to grow up to be one of those sophisticated bitches who knows how to make one of these charcuteries.
Yes, me too. I feel her. That is how I feel every day. Yeah, I mean, it's just I just want to chill and hang out. You know me. I never really want anything big, but like you know how when we travel, I'm like I don't want a great big itinerary. I just want to chill, go with it and enjoy the place as is.
Hmm.
That's sort of always how I want things. Like just chill. Like it doesn't have to be like whatever big thing.
Our
Let
travel
me
plans
think
also
though.
turn out to be a lot like our podcast, where we both bring to the table 1 to 3 to 5 like main things that we know we want, and then we figure it out around that. Now,
Yeah.
granted, there are times when certain things won't get done because we're winging it, and it ends up not being part of the itinerary. But that's fine. Like, I mean, it's mostly
And we
fine.
enjoy the process, right?
Yeah. I will say this.
Enjoy the
I will say
process.
this though. The one thing that we didn't get to do, that I will, this, as an example, we were busy hanging out with friends and doing kind of our own thing, going with the flow in Tokyo, to where
You want to see the
we
Gundam?
didn't get to see the Gundam. I've never even watched Gundam, but I only bring it up now because that damn thing started moving. It started
Oh no
moving
no, it's a
last
new
week. Oh,
one.
it's a new one?
It's a
Still,
new
we
one.
could look at
Yeah.
that one next time.
Um so my friend Patrick, is part of my Discord channel. He is it studying or working? Study working. I think working in Japan right now. Study working in Japan right now.
Work
He
study.
sent it to us, yeah, like a few months ago, and he was like, "Guess what?" And we were like, "Is that thing moving? What the heck?" But yeah, it's and it's nearer. It's actually nearer
Oh,
to
okay.
the center of everything. So it's it. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It's let me think though. What I know I have things I want like I don't know, drinking in the cold again. That was fun. Wait, no, I don't like the cold. Wait, let me think. Going to a log? No. I just want to do that in general, not specifically when we see each other. I just want to go to a log cabin and like be at the fireplace because you know, tropical country. We've romanticized leather jackets and fireplaces and like those furry
I mean,
carpets that
it's
probably now that
possible.
I think about it is dusty.
True, like it is possible to enjoy that, but it will require a certain level of control over the environment for you. Because you could say like, oh, a log cabin in the woods with some snow on the top, but that also entails
Yeah.
we better have like 5 furnaces inside of the inside of the place so that you don't get cold. But yeah, you're saying like things that you want to do when we see
Yeah,
each
I'm
other.
trying to think about yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Oh, you know what I want to do when we see each other?
okay,
Like with a passion I want to do this.
uh huh.
Go to Junbi Matcha and then have Malahat Pot. I found a Malahat Pot place, so I'm ordering for tomorrow. Finally here, but like that's you
Eating
know that's my
good
favorite thing.
good eting is
You
never far
know
for
it.
us. Yeah, good eating is never far for us as
No.
far as things we would do.
Junbi Matcha. I mean, I don't like. So you did this.
What?
I've never like been the whole like oh milk tea I really want milk tea person or whatever that's not me but then I really want Junbi
Yeah, they do a
like
good
I
job. They do
really
a great
want
job.
the aloe matcha thing I really want it.
We will absolutely do that. Obviously, it'll probably be the first thing we do. We'll grab some and then hang out in the office or something. Like, um, but like you're saying things that you wanted. What's going on?
I'm trying to find Junbi on my
Oh,
phone
well,
so I can at least look at it.
all of these things are great to hear. But as if I can give a small correction, like you're saying things that you want us to do when we see each other, but do you have any goals that you're working towards
Oh,
for up until we see each other? You know what I mean?
to not be poor.
Oh, yeah, fair.
I think that's been my general goal
Thing is,
like
your
in
growth has
forever.
been pretty steady, and there has been
I
growth.
mean yes but I like okay now I can say it realistically because you've been saying this and you've been saying it realistically. But now I can say it realistically because I think I am like starting a little bit to
Mm-hmm.
sort of earn. So I know that this is, because it's funny because like a few weeks back I told my mom, I'm like, oh my god, I think I'll actually be able to live off this job and earn. And my sister laughs at my face and goes like, well, what the fuck have you been doing the last year then if you didn't think you'd be able to sustainably earn in this profession?
Well, here's
Like
like I
in
love.
her Tagalog words, she literally was like, eh kung ngayon mo lang na-realize na pwede ka magkapera, anong ginagawa mo this whole time?
Well, okay, like what I love that that comes up because it does. It comes up a lot, and we could do a whole episode on this whole topic, and I think we should. The one thing I'll say right now, as maybe potentially a teaser of the episode we end up doing about this very topic, when people tell us like what kind of jobs do you have, how can you expect to like earn and whatnot, these people need to understand that when you have a traditional occupation, let's say we're Asian, so let's just throw the Asian ones out there. Like the typical ones your parents might want you to be: lawyer,
Okay.
doctor.
Fact, yeah. So I just want to put this out there. This is very heavily ingrained in our culture.
Yes.
And my father is a lawyer, and my sister is a doctor, and my brother just graduated law school, and I went to law school and I quit. So that is a thing. I grew up thinking that the only way I'll survive financially is if I become a professional, and that's a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, or some near building something
Yeah. So what I was trying,
profession.
so what I was trying to say is like when we are told as, I'll use the term YouTubers, but let's say creators. When we're told as creators that how are you going to make this work? What those people don't often understand is that they're looking at jobs in a super traditional sense, where when you become, let's say, a nurse, let's just say nurse, you are becoming a worker in an already established company slash hospital slash institution. What Issa and I are doing now as solo creators,
Creating institutions.
we are, well, no, that's really it. Like, you're literally creating the Issa Does company from zero. So, of course, it's not going to be earning until you build it into something that earns. The JV brand like got a bit of a boost in the beginning because I had built up like a whole different like fan base somewhere else. But in my case, yeah, it took me 2 years to build it up to a place where I'm actually making a like I'm not gonna say I'm making a lot of money now, but I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable about what I'm making. And for you, like I
Yeah.
said, growth is relative, and in your case, it might take a certain amount of time. It might take a certain amount of time for anybody, you
Yeah.
know.
But I mean, consequently, it's like people have to stop. One, people have to stop thinking that if you're a creator, you're doing it for free. Like, I got a nasty comment that said, like, you're just doing this for the views. And I'm like, I did not stay up, right? Edit, host, and shoot this for me to say I'm not doing it for the views. Like, it is a job. So, like, stop putting shame in wanting views. As long as you do it right, there's no shame.
Also,
Okay?
hold on.
One.
Like, the views make the job. First of all,
Yeah. So, and then number two, it's like, you don't earn a lot from just being a YouTuber. Like you said, creator, and that is what I call myself because I make a lot of other things, not just on YouTube. But you don't earn a lot on YouTube. Um, I will say that I have been earning more than my employee job. Like actually, if I do the math, it's probably gonna be like way more.
yeah.
But if I look at only YouTube, my YouTube channel, only my AdSense earnings, like the money I get from people watching ads and stuff like that, what traditionally would be YouTube salaries, it hasn't, that alone, just that alone, hasn't broken even to my actual employee salary. If you, but I mean, I think I'm a few months. Like I think I will in a few months.
Yeah, it'll get there.
But
Like
that's my
in,
yeah.
I think that
Nope.
unless YouTube implodes very soon, and I think honestly there are going to be major changes in the life cycle of any company. But as far as a established institution, YouTube will be around for a long, long time. I honestly think so. Things will change,
it's like-
but
it's like-
I view it as an inevitability that you will start make that
Yeah.
that in the life of consistent creation and work and productivity and just being a consistent creator on that particular platform. If we're going to talk about YouTube specifically, it is inevitable that you will make a certain amount of money on the AdSense that can sustain you as long as you are
Yes,
able to temper
but I
yourself
will
for it.
say though, because people think that people earn so much. Like you go to Social Blade, and someone gives, and it gives you like that estimate of how much a person earns, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
the potentiality of what that is just
You think
no.
that
Like
they make that money just making videos? No, they have merch, they have sponsorships, they have like all of these
yeah,
other venues or ways
and
of making money.
yeah, and it's like because so many people are like, yeah, once I start getting monetized, I'll be able to like pay for stuff. The reality of it is no.
No.
The reality of it is that it's gonna be a slow trickle once you get monetized, unless you go viral, and even then, some content experts would argue that going viral initially would work against your like growth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but my point is like it's it's not the glamorous thing that people make it out to be,
Yeah. A lot of people romanticize
and it's not
YouTubers.
as easy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just ooh, it's just not it. It ain't it.
Yeah. So well, okay. So your whole thing is, well, you've been putting in a lot of work, so you're working towards that goal of, earning more by the time we see each other. So let's say I keep seeing the term spring 2021 being thrown around, so I'm just sort of thinking
What's
that'll
that?
just a lot of establishments around me are thinking that spring 2021 will be when like bigger openings and things will be easier, like things can actually happen in spring 2021. Hopefully vaccine will be available by then.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's kind of
Then
projecting spring 2021.
yeah, major pharmas are saying that like you won't be able to give wait, I'm handing my sister my phone because I'm waiting for a cake so that I can have my cake and eat it too. So I'm literally waiting for a cake delivery. So the thing is, major pharmas are saying that vaccines won't be available to everyone in the world up until 2024. And
Yeah.
also, I live in a third world country. So despite the fact that we have no mass testing, I'm pretty sure we're also not going to get a vaccine anytime soon. So it's like, for me, it's just like a test of my patience.
For sure.
I'm not
And
even going to say my love for you. My love for you is there always. It's just my patience, my personal patience.
yeah, it is rough. And the I don't know, like being able to literally vaccinate everybody in the entire world, obviously it's going to take years. It's just, we're crossing fingers that we in our positions, let's say, might be able to do something a little bit, might be able to get something before the final projection of 20, when the final 5 billionth person gets it in 2024.
Yeah.
So those are the hopes. But yeah, the so let's say then, I mean, June, let's just say around my birthday, 2021, by then, like a lot of work will be going into all of that. We literally have a very busy month ahead of us, and there's a lot of work that's going to continue happening up until then. The
Yeah.
whole conversation around how we tackle our work and how overwhelmed we constantly feel, that's a whole different thing. It's just what I
Yeah.
have advocated for a long time for both me and Issa is this whole idea that, well, yes, of course it's going to be rough, but the thing is, it's not like we're going to stop. It's not like we're going to not do what we're doing, because we do like what we're doing. And if we have to make certain choices for our mental health and for our self-care and whatnot, that's fine, as long as we still get to the work at some point. That we have to trust our own processes, even if that process changes from time to time.
And the process will change, especially if you're in an industry that's fairly new, influenced by things like the algorithm or online trends. I mean,
Or new
TikTok, man,
endeavors like a podcast.
or TikTok.
Yeah, in your
That
case.
takes up so much of my time right now. My God. It's a very enjoyable app.
I,
I'm not
I
even gonna go into the politics behind what's going on there or whatnot because it's very loaded, but in a vacuum as an app, honestly very enjoyable. And
I
it's an amazing way to spread information because its algorithm just puts you out there. It's I like it.
yeah. So I realized that You did come into the show with a thought about what we can talk about an hour and 55 minutes.
It's fine. It's
Are
fine.
there any
Yeah.
are there any things for the last 5, 10, 15 that you want to
I mean, so the topic was supposed to be what we're passionate about or what we advocate about, but as is obvious, we are very passionate about what we do, our conversations, and each other.
and that's why we're
Wait, are we done?
no.
We still have a few minutes.
That would have been a
Don't you
good
dare end it.
that would have been a good one though.
Don't you dare. Yeah, that's ow. That's yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to look at the last episode if there were any comments.
Um,
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like my attention has
me?
my attention has just been elsewhere, so I haven't really been on top of literally
Has it-
everything.
I think someone I know said that they like your glasses.
Oh, was it the
And
rimless
then
ones or was it these?
the Tito glasses.
Yep, that were these.
I think,
The
yeah,
Titos.
those. And then yeah, I mean there are a couple, but not so much a lot. What? Did I
Well,
just
I'm
say?
still working on. I'm still working on like we are working on our sort of marketing of the show, but we are only.
I mean it's fine.
Yeah,
To
we're
me it's like I if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I enjoy making this.
and you know
So
what?
it's
You should always look at we, not just you. We should always look at this
Okay.
show. We should always look at this show as our example because look at how much work we put into growing our brands and our channels when we do videos practically every day, every other day. This podcast comes out in a long form format, which is usually not great for YouTube. Which is why we love the fact that we have loyal fans who listen all the way through. Thank you so much. But just look at Technically Together as an example. Any creators out there who are looking for an example of just how long it might take, how much you have to trust your process and continue working on that consistency, this goes out once a week. We are now on episode 7, which means we will have been into this for almost 2 months now. You can't expect a once a week piece of content to become a huge seller in 2 months. You just can't. So look at the amount of work that someone like Issa puts in to make the videos she makes every other day. Very consistently. I do the same. I've been doing it for years now. Like this is the amount of
and
work.
and also like I had this idea about your content. So I was thinking maybe you should do like your gear optimization thing hacks and have that conversation. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but someone was
Oh, I
asking
did.
where
Yeah.
we kept our SD cards. So my thing is like you do it for me so many times. A lot. So many times a lot. I don't know where my English is going today, so I don't care. Let's not go into the whole conversation about like language and all that right now because I'm tired. But
You're tired.
I'm
Lakers lost and
tired
it's
of shit.
Lakers lost. I'm 4 shots in and it's midnight. And I'm staying
Oh,
up all night.
I'm just in general tired these days, babe.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I
I'm
just know.
I'm pulling an all
I'm
nighter
I'm
tonight. So,
yeah. So
but you're right, and
wait,
I
what was I saying?
gear content. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I've actually already had that segment in mind.
Uh-huh.
It is half a okay, half of the concept is about products that I don't get to dedicate huge videos to, and by that I mean like YouTube videos. But the other half would be like how I do things, or how I use my gear, or what gear I use and whatnot.
Or
It's
you know what I would love to hear?
Hmm.
Your thought process as to what you want to get. Just that. It doesn't even have to be you getting it, but just like the reasons why you want to get it. Because those are very weighty for someone who's had so much shooting experience.
I would love,
Like
you know
it-
what? That's a good idea. And I could crowdsource those ideas. Like, what certain products are you searching for? And then I'll walk you through my process
Yeah.
of, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I've had the name of the segment in mind for the longest time. I just haven't been able to get it started. It's called My Cup of Tea. So it's literally like, this is why this is my cup of tea.
May I suggest something? I'm not sure if you're going to like this. Put it on TikTok as well.
I'm,
It's an untapped market.
I'm not against
And
that.
people Yeah.
I'm just I need to learn how to create on TikTok. I feel like every old person who is an old school Viner
Uh-huh.
who gets into TikTok and can't figure out how to create the way that they
Okay.
used to.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, you can always just do your portrait videos and just post them as is on TikTok if they're already edited. But I will touch on another thing that sometimes as creators, we overthink about what our content should be and what level of content should be. My TikToks, I've shot them all on phones and on a whim.
Hmm.
And I have 140,000 hearts right now. And I started TikTok when? Like last week?
No, you have one heart.
Okay, sure. No, but my point is, I have a TikTok with like 850,000 views. No, 828.3 thousand views. And it has 113.3K likes. And I literally, off the top of my head, sang a song and found it funny and applied it to a phone. And so it's fine. You're like, okay, maybe it just is a very like big ass interesting phone, right? You get that number. But like I posted about the Moto Razr and one is 277,000 views. I have a 50,000 view video of me hanging up on the phone
Hmm.
and making it trying to make it funny. And I bled because of the LG Wing and that has 50,000 views too. But my point is, what I've realized about TikTok is that, okay, for me specifically, and we can apply this to you, it's so the goal for my channel has always been to talk to not the traditional techies about like how this tech is cool.
Yeah.
The problem is, since they're not traditional techies, they're not gonna look for that content so that I can tell them that it's cool because they don't know about it. So, and we've talked about it. This has been my eternal struggle. How do I pull them in?
Hmm.
TikTok is how you pull them in.
Yeah.
And so that's why I feel like it would work for your gear talk. Because they're not gonna need to search for you, but you're just gonna pop up and be like, hey, you were already thinking about this. Let me tell you how I'm doing this.
Yeah. And if it's tagged or whatever, right, the algorithm will
Yeah.
push it to the right people.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is the value of TikTok for a creator in 2020. Um, it's also just very fun. Honestly, I've not had this much fun on Instagram. Instagram for all it is, sure, but it was never an app I enjoyed. Facebook, sure, not so much anymore. Twitter, I always enjoy, but TikTok, man, it's like if they were people, it's like it's the new, fresh, cool person with so many interesting stories.
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I love TikTok this much right now, but it's like I just have been enjoying it and it's become a place for my non-produced content. Like I have a stupid idea and it becomes a TikTok.
Yeah, that's
And the
fine.
algorithm like sort of just goes with it. So,
Well, you're absolutely right that we overthink it sometimes. Like I just recently did a vlog on my channel for the first time in a long time. Like it was just a vlog style video about the Chromecast, and it actually is getting more views than I thought it would. Because I did not go super hard in the paint with a script and all
I
the
watched
specs,
that.
and yeah, and
But also, what camera did you shoot with that? I commented. You never replied to me.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. But I did comment and you didn't reply. But I get it.
Thing is, you know what camera it is though.
Which one?
The new Panic, the new Panasonic.
Oh, that was a new one.
Yeah.
It really did look good.
Mm-hmm. And
I
I got a new
actually
mic that
thought-
you might be interested in, by the way.
Why? Is that the two what?
Two
thing?
sides, yeah. So if you hit this switch, you
Is
can
it
you
good?
can talk into this side of the mic. That way
Yeah.
you can VO your own handheld footage. I have
Is it
not
good?
I have
How-
not tested that yet. But as a regular shotgun mic with the switch flipped up so it's only coming from this side, it's perfectly fine. It's good. But I already gave you one of those the Rode.
Yeah, I use it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, which one?
The little one, right? The little Rode Micro? Isn't the Video Micro?
Huh?
The little shotgun mic that's this big.
Oh, it's a different one.
Oh, is it different? I thought it was a Rode. Sorry. Um.
Yeah, but it's a cool one, and I use it for like all my videos and everything.
Oh,
And I
okay.
just rotate it on the shoe head.
Yeah. Shoe
And
head.
so like when I
The
thing
hot shoe.
heart, yeah, that shoe head. No,
The name of the podcast.
I
Shoe head.
was gonna say, yes, thank you. Now I don't have to think about it. I was gonna say though, aren't there gonna be like Amazon deals?
I.
What was it?
So
I wanted to get this weird indoor camera thing that's like a tiny thing and it becomes like $10 na lang, and I'm like, I'm gonna put it everywhere so I can scare everyone and talk to them via my phone. I'm like, to my mom while she's watching the TV in the living room, Nanay, saan mo nilagay yung ganito? Because it's so cheap. Although I am getting security cameras with solar panels installed.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I just put out a video on a lightning deal for a robot vacuum. So, but
Yes, I'm getting one, but a different one.
if I can
with
just
some
say though,
options.
like they kind of, I would have loved for that video to do. I just want 5 digits. That's all I want. I just want over 10,000 views on any given video. Like I have very low expectations for my content, but the SEO for that particular vacuum is just not good. Like, how do you expect? And this is not me knocking on the brand or anything. This is just sort of the reality of SEO. How are you going to have a company named 360?
Oh, I was wondering what brand it was because I'm like, why didn't he say?
Yeah, it's called 360. The 360
Yeah, it's
and the name of the robot vacuum is the S9. You can think of
yeah, no, that's
five
not gonna be. That's
right off the top of your head. You can think of 5 different 360s and 5 different S9s.
yeah. But it's also like, and this is something that I've observed, the people who will merit most from this new smart home tech, are people who have high learning curves for tech. So that's why I think it will take time for it to actually click when digital natives become the people who will merit from it most.
Sure. Yeah.
You get what I
Yeah,
mean?
I get that.
Like it's the titas and the mommies, but the titas and the mommies aren't concerned about learning how to use this new app to clean their house.
Mhm.
But you and me, the millennials who are growing old to be the people who value those things, and I do, and I'm actually carving out a new smart home niche for my channel
And you're
because
willing to
it's
put
I
in the
have
time.
absolutely
You're
yeah.
willing to I'm trying to think of a good pun for curve.
Put in time to set it up
Well,
because
yeah.
it
I was
can
trying to
get
think of a
messy.
funny way of using learning curve. Like you're willing to drift on the learning curve. I don't know. The
You're willing to move with the curves. I don't know.
You're willing to. Well, the only thing I can think of when it comes to curve is like when you fuck up the curve because you score high on a test.
Don't wear a mask.
Oh, that too.
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the pandemic.
Oh, that's
'Cause, I'm
right.
still affected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brought it back
Yeah.
down, and that's why we're.
Not seeing each other.
Damn it! That might actually be the end.
Wow. Okay, I guess we end there because I love that ending. And that was episode 7 of Technically Together, the first podcast where actually there was no technical hitches. So, yay! Look how far we've come. If there's a lesson here in podcasts and in life, it's that day you've been waiting for, you've been working towards, it's gonna come. And sometimes you won't even notice that it's there until you're actually living it. That's it for today, you guys. We are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. For the video version, we're on YouTube. That's Technically Together. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. See you next week.